The CEO's unexpected love
There she
for
was.
coal strode purposefully through the gleaming lobby of Coal Industries, her stiletto heels clicking against the polished marble floor. At 35, she was the youngest CEO in the company's history, having taken over from her father 2 years ago. She nodded curtly at the security guard as she swept past, her mind already racing with the day's tasks ahead. As she rode the elevator to the top floor, Jennifer smoothed her crisp white blouse and straightened her fitted charcoal blazer. She had cultivated a reputation as an ice queen, cold, ruthless, and solely focused on the bottom line. It was the only way to be taken seriously as a female CEO in the cutthroat world of tech. Romance and relationships were luxuries she couldn't afford. The elevator dinged as it reached the executive floor. Jennifer stepped out, ready to begin another grueling 14-hour day. But as she rounded the corner to her office, she stopped short. A man was standing outside her door, shifting nervously from foot to foot. He was dressed in worn jeans and a faded t-shirt that had seen better days. His shaggy brown hair fell across his forehead, partially obscuring warm hazel eyes. He looked completely out of place among the sleek modernity of the executive suite. "Can I help you?" Jennifer asked brusquely, arching an eyebrow. The man jumped slightly, as if startled by her sudden appearance. "Oh, hi there. I'm Jake. Jake Matthews. I'm here about the janitorial position." Jennifer frowned. This was highly irregular. Job applicants didn't usually make it up to the executive floor unescorted. She'd have to have a word with security. "Mr. Matthews, job applications are handled by HR on the third floor. This area is for authorized personnel only. I'm going to have to ask you to leave." Jake's face fell. "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. It's just, I really need this job. I was hoping if I could talk to someone in charge, explain my situation." He trailed off, looking dejected. Jennifer felt an unexpected pang of sympathy. There was something earnest and genuine about Jake that tugged at her usually well-guarded heart. Against her better judgment, she found herself saying, "Well, since you're already up here, why don't you come into my office and tell me a bit about yourself?" Jake's eyes lit up. "Really? That would be amazing, thank you." Jennifer ushered him into her spacious corner office, gesturing for him to take a seat across from her imposing mahogany desk. As she settled into her own chair, she studied Jake more closely. Despite his shabby appearance, he was undeniably handsome, with chiseled features and an easy, boyish charm. "Stop it," she chided herself. "This is a potential employee, nothing more." "So, Mr. Matthews," she began briskly, "tell me about your background and why you're interested in this position." Jake ran a hand through his hair, looking sheepish. "Well, to be honest, I don't have much experience as a janitor. I used to be a teacher, actually. Taught third grade for 5 years. But budget cuts eliminated my position last year, and I've been struggling to find work ever since. I'm willing to do anything at this point. I just need a steady paycheck to support my daughter." Jennifer's ears perked up. "You have a daughter?" Jake's face softened, a tender smile spreading across his features. "Yeah, Lily. She's 6. The light of my life. It's just the two of us. Her mom passed away when Lily was a baby." "I'm so sorry," Jennifer said quietly, surprising herself with the depth of emotion in her voice. Jake shrugged. "It was a long time ago. Lily and we're a team, which is why I'm so desperate for work. Our savings are almost gone, and I can't bear the thought of not being able to provide for her." Jennifer found herself oddly moved by Jake's story. His obvious love for his daughter and determination to care for her stirred something deep inside her. "Well, Mr. Matthews, While I appreciate you sharing your situation with me, I'm afraid I'm not in a position to offer you a job directly. However, I can put in a good word with our HR department. Why don't you head down to the third floor and speak with Sarah in recruiting? Tell her I sent you." Jake's whole face lit up. "Really? Oh man, thank you so much. This means the world to me, honestly." As he stood to leave, Jennifer impulsively held out her hand. "I'm Jennifer, by the way. Jennifer Cole." Jake's eyes widened as he shook her hand. "Wait, Cole? As in Cole Industries? Are you the CEO?" "Yes," Jennifer finished with a wry smile. Jake looked mortified. "Oh God, I'm so sorry for barging in on you like this. I had no idea." Jennifer waved away his apologies. "It's fine, really. I'm glad we had the chance to talk. Good luck with everything, Jake. I hope it works out." After Jake left, Jennifer found herself unable to focus on work. Her thoughts kept drifting back to his warm eyes and the love in his voice when he spoke about his daughter. She shook her head, trying to clear it. What was wrong with her? She was acting like a schoolgirl with a crush. But over the next few weeks, she found herself looking for Jake whenever she passed through the lobby or rode the elevator. She told herself she just wanted to know if he'd gotten the job. It most definitely wasn't because she wanted to see his infectious smile again or hear his deep, soothing voice. It was a month later when she finally ran into him again. She was working late one night, poring over quarterly reports in her office, when there was a tentative knock at her door. "Come in," she called distractedly, not looking up from her computer. Hi there. Sorry to bother you." Jennifer's head snapped up at the familiar voice. Jake was standing in her doorway, pushing a custodial cart. "Jake, you got the job," she said. Unable to keep the pleased note out of her voice, he grinned, and Jennifer felt her heart do a little flip. "I did thanks to you. I can't tell you how grateful I am." "You're very welcome. How is it going so far?" "It's great, actually. The hours work well with Lily's school schedule, and everyone has been really nice." He hesitated for a moment. I hope it's okay that I'm up here. I'm assigned to this floor on Thursday nights." "Of course it's fine," Jennifer assured him. "Don't let me keep you from your work." Jake nodded and began to push his cart away, but then paused and turned back. "Listen, I know this is probably totally inappropriate, but would you maybe want to grab a coffee sometime? As a thank you for helping me get the job?" Jennifer froze. Every fiber of her being was screaming at her to say no. She was his boss, his boss's boss's boss. Technically, it would be completely unprofessional. Not to mention the scandal if the press got wind of the CEO dating a janitor. But as she looked into Jake's earnest face, all her reservations melted away. "You know what? I'd love to." And so began a whirlwind romance that took them both by surprise. Despite their vastly different backgrounds, Jennifer and Jake found they had an effortless connection. She was charmed by his down-to-earth nature and devoted parenting, while he was impressed by her drive and intelligence. Their coffee date turned into dinner, which turned into weekend outings with Lily. Before Jennifer knew it, she was happier than she'd been in years. For the first time in her life, she was letting down her walls and allowing herself to be vulnerable with someone. But their budding relationship wasn't without its challenges. Jennifer was painfully aware of the gossip swirling around the office. She overheard snippets of conversation in the break room, people wondering if Jake was a gold digger or if Jennifer had lost her mind. The board of directors cornered her one day after a meeting, expressing their concerns about her personal life affecting the company's image. Jennifer coolly informed them that her private relationships were none of their business, but inside she was seething. Jake noticed her preoccupation that night over dinner. "Hey, is everything okay?" You seem upset about something, Jennifer sighed, pushing her salad around her plate. It's nothing really, just some drama at work. Jake reached across the table and took her hand. Come on, Jen. Talk to me. We're in this together, remember? His unwavering support broke down her last defenses. Jennifer felt tears pricking at her eyes as she confessed, It's just, people are talking. About us. The board doesn't approve. They think you're beneath me, or using me for my money, or something equally ridiculous. Jake's face darkened. I'm so sorry, Jen. I never meant to cause problems for you at work. Maybe we should cool things off for a while. No, Jennifer said forcefully, surprising them both with her vehemence. She took a deep breath. No, she repeated more calmly. I don't care what they think. These past few months with you and Lily have been the happiest of my life. I'm not giving that up because of office gossip. Jake's expression softened. He stood up and came around the table, pulling Jennifer to her feet and into his arms. I love you, he murmured against her hair. You and Lily are the best things that have ever happened to me. Jennifer's heart soared at his words. She tilted her face up to his, meeting his lips in a tender kiss. I love you too, she whispered. From that moment on, Jennifer was determined not to let other people's opinions affect their relationship. She threw herself into wedding planning with gusto, much to the shock of her society friends who had long ago written her off as a perpetual bachelorette. The day of the wedding dawned bright and clear. Jennifer stood in front of the mirror in her hotel suite, hardly recognizing the radiant woman staring back at her. Her blonde hair was swept up in an elegant chignon, and her slim figure was draped in a gorgeously simple white gown. There was a knock at the door, and her father poked his head in. You about ready, sweet pea? It's almost time. Jennifer smiled at her dad. He had been surprised by her whirlwind romance, but had come around once he saw how happy Jake made her. I'm ready, Dad. He offered her his arm, and together they made their way down to the hotel's lush garden where the ceremony was being held. As the string quartet began to play, Jennifer's eyes locked on Jake waiting for her at the end of the aisle. He looked incredibly handsome in his tuxedo, but it was the look of pure adoration on his face that took her breath away. Little Lily preceded them down the aisle as the flower girl, beaming with pride in her frilly dress. Jennifer's heart swelled as she watched Jake scoop up his daughter and plant a kiss on her cheek before setting her down next to him. When Jennifer reached the altar, Jake took both of her hands in his. You look absolutely beautiful, he whispered. As they exchanged vows and rings, Jennifer marveled at how much her life had changed in just a year. She had gone from a lonely workaholic to part of a loving family. She knew there would still be challenges ahead. Balancing her high-powered career with family life wouldn't be easy. But looking into Jake's eyes, she knew they could handle anything as long as they were together. I now pronounce you husband and wife, the officiant declared. You may kiss the bride. Jake pulled Jennifer close, dipping her dramatically as he kissed her to the cheers of their guests. As he set her back on her feet, Lily ran up and threw her arms around both of them. Jake lifted her up, and the three of them shared a group hug. Jennifer had never felt so complete, so utterly happy. She had finally found the missing piece in her life, love. As CEO, she had achieved incredible professional success. But it was only now, wrapped in the arms of her new husband and stepdaughter, that she felt truly rich.